summer wind in the city of Shamsabad carried the smell of mango trees and chaos. In a deserted corner of the old railway station, our eyes stood watching the sky as if waiting for a sign. He had lived here since he was 10, with no name of his own, until a stranger once whispered, "Your name is Our Eyes. You are destined." Meanwhile, in the royal-like haveli across the city, the Sheikh family prepared for their monthly gathering. Laughter echoed in the halls. Hania was upstairs, lost in her diary, writing about the dream she saw of a jungle, an ancient gate, and a boy with a scar under his eye. That boy was Our Eyes. They had never met, but destiny had drawn the map. It was at the inter-school debate event where the 6 friends first united. Our Eyes had joined the school through a scholarship, silent, mysterious, and talented. Zoya found him interesting. Rimshah tried making him laugh. Kabir offered him biryani. Saad ran background checks. Hania, she just stared. What none of them knew, Murad and his gang were watching. They weren't just students. They were shadows of something older. And one of the 6 friends had unknowingly triggered something. 3 days later, they all went on a school field trip to the ruins of an ancient jungle palace outside Shamsabad. Our Eyes kept seeing symbols others couldn't. He touched an old stone, and a mark lit up on his hand. Saad recorded it. Hania saw it. Zoya's pendant started to glow. Kabir dropped his samosa. And then the ground cracked. Beneath the earth was a hidden chamber with a massive clock carved on its walls, ticking backward, and an inscription. The end begins when the air wakes. Our Eyes went back to the railway station. There, inside a loose tile under the bench, he found a dusty envelope. It was addressed to him, written in trembling handwriting. "To my son Our Eyes. I hope someday you find the light I couldn't." He dropped to the floor. The paper smelled of her, the woman from his dreams, his mother. But how did it get there? Murad met his allies at night, Faris, Rayhan, and Laiba. "They've entered the first gate," he said. Laiba raised an eyebrow. "The boy with the scar?" Murad nodded. "He doesn't know what he carries inside him, but soon he will. And when he does, he'll either join me or destroy everything." "Should we attack?" Faris asked. "No," Murad smirked. "Let them open all the doors for us. Then we'll strike." The friends visited Hania's haveli. Our Eyes was overwhelmed by the laughter, food, cousins, and love. Something he never had. Her grandmother saw him and froze. "That face. You look like your father. He once saved me." "What?" Our Eyes asked. She touched his hand. "Your destiny started before you were born." That night, Rimshah dreamed of a fire-lit map burning itself into the sky. She painted it the moment she woke up. It matched the carvings from the underground clock room. Saad ran it through a scanner. "It's a real place," he whispered. "A lost city beneath the jungle." The journey for the weekend. Hania's cousins helped arrange it like a picnic trip, but it was anything but normal. As they reached the edge of the jungle, Kabir whispered, "If we get eaten by tigers, I just want my last meal to be cheesy fries." Zoya smirked. "You'll die fat and happy." He winked. "That's the plan." Chapter 8. The Forgotten City. It took 3 hours of hiking to reach the ruins. Moss-covered stones, ancient archways, and eerie silence welcomed them. Rimshah touched a broken sculpture, and it started to hum. Hania noticed Our Eyes' hand glowing again. "You're connected to this place." They reached a circular plaza where Zoya's pendant floated midair, unlocking a hidden stairway. The staircase led to a glowing orb with floating runes around it. Then they heard footsteps. Murad and his team had arrived. "We meet again," Murad said, stepping into the light. Our Eyes' voice was cold. "Stay away from them." Murad laughed. Too late. And with a single command, the ancient chamber sealed shut, with all of them trapped inside. Chapter 9. secrets revealed, the orb in the center of the sealed chamber began to glow brighter. Ancient scripts circled the walls, illuminating a timeline no one had ever seen. Saad whispered, "It's like a history no one ever recorded." As our eyes stepped closer, one of the rune patterns aligned with his palm, pulling him into a vision. He saw a kingdom in flames, a queen crying, a baby taken in the night, and a shadowed man whispering, "Keep him hidden. He must never know." When he woke, tears stained his cheeks. Zoya held his hand. "What did you see?" "I saw my past." Behind them, Murad clapped slowly. "And now you understand why you matter." Laiba stepped forward. For a moment, something in her eyes changed. "Murad, we should let them go. He's not ready." But Murad raised his hand. "They've seen too much. They're not leaving." Rimsha, trembling, pulled a hidden sketch from her bag, the map of the next chamber. "We follow this," she whispered, "or we die here." The group found themselves lying together upon the cool ground once more. It was as though the jungle had released them all simultaneously, leaving behind only the faintest echoes of their shared visions. Our eyes, visibly shaken yet filled with renewed determination, was the first to rise. "We finally know the truth," he said, pausing to collect his breath. "We know what we must do." Kabir supported a weeping Hania, who whispered, "There's so much I didn't know. It's like knowing why everything happened, yet wishing so much of it hadn't." Rimsha stood beside them, her heart torn but resolute. Her eyes, once dazzled by the colors of her forgotten memories, now understood the gravity of their mission. "We've come too far to give up now," she declared, locking eyes with our eyes. The jungle had become an ally. The whispers among the trees had turned to encouragement, guiding their path toward one final challenge they all understood was looming before them. In the clearing ahead stood not only the remnants of their hopes, but the figure of Murad, flanked by ruins that seemed to pulse with ancient power. Our eyes stepped forward, feeling the weight of generations upon his shoulders. "You sought a crown never meant for you," he called out, strength building in his voice with each word. "I understand my place now, and I won't let you take what you desire." Murad's eyes narrowed, the face that had once hidden deceit now betrayed by desperation. "You gained insight from the trial, but can you wield the truth?" Kabir, standing beside our eyes, radiated confidence. "We're here because the truth chose us. We'll finish what we started. And it isn't just about power, but ensuring it never consumes others." Together, the friends moved forward, their steps carrying them toward a confrontation written for the ages. As they approached, the air crackled with tension, charged with the culmination of their journey and the veiled promise of the challenges yet untold. Determination etched into their hearts. They prepared to face the darkness for the sake of the light the world once lost and must yet reclaim. With their fates intertwined, they stepped into the clearing, each footfall resonating with the weight of history and, more importantly, the weight of their united will. The gate was open. Chapter 14. Laiba's choice inside. Golden vines and firelit halls stretched endlessly. At the far end, the crown of fire, the key to awakening the forgotten kingdom. Murad, Ferris, and Laiba awaited. "You made it," Murad said. "Now choose our eyes. Power or people?" Our eyes stepped forward. "Neither. I choose truth." Laiba turned her eyes away from Murad. "You lied to me." "I gave you purpose," Murad hissed. "You took away my soul," she replied. She stepped between our eyes and Murad. "I will not fight for a lie." Ferris raised his weapon, then die for truth. But Kabir, out of nowhere, tackled him screaming, "Not today, BRO." The chamber exploded into a storm of fire, vines, and collapsing walls. Liba gave Hania the map. There's a hidden path to the crown.
Go kropka.
Hania stared at her. Why help us? Liba whispered, because I was once like you, innocent. Chapter 15. The crown of fire, the last chamber, felt eternal. Rivers of flame ran beneath crystal bridges. At the center, the crown. Our eyes stepped forward. It began to float. But so did Murad. This crown was promised to me. Murad roared. No, our eyes said. You stole its story. They clashed, fire against truth, hatred against memory. Murad tried to push our eyes into the lava below, but our eyes' hand found the crown. A burst of light exploded from him. A woman's voice whispered through the chamber. My son, you've come home. Murad screamed as the light engulfed him. He vanished into dust. Our eyes fell to his knees. The crown landed in his lap, and the temple began to heal. They exited the jungle into dawn. The light touched everything with gold. Hania held our eyes' hand. Now what? He looked at his friends, at the empty space where Saad should have been. At sunrise, our eyes said, we build what they tried to bury. Rimsha placed her hand on the soil. We name it truth. Kabir sniffled, and serve free samosas every Friday. They laughed and cried. In the distance, the people of Shungsabad gathered, drawn by the light and legends. The orphan had returned, not to seek the crown, but to carry its weight. 1 year later, the city of Shungsabad had changed. Where once stood the forgotten jungle ruins, now stood a place called Nurabad, the city of light. At its gates, engraved words read, for the lost who never gave up. Our eyes stood at the edge of a balcony overlooking Nurabad. A gentle wind moved his scarf. He no longer felt like an orphan. He was home. Hania walked beside him. It's beautiful, she whispered. He smiled. You helped me believe it could exist. Below, children learned in open classrooms. Artists painted on walls. Scientists worked beside farmers. And every Friday, Kabir ran a stall called Samosi Saad. Rimsha had turned the city into a canvas. Murals of Saad, Zoya, Liba, even Murad, all were painted not to worship, but to remember. Liba, now a guardian of the Eastern Gate, protected the city she once tried to destroy. And Zoya? She had gone on a journey to find others like our eyes, those lost in forgotten tales. That evening, the sun dipped behind the rebuilt ruins. Our eyes stood in front of a memorial stone that read, to the boy who recorded everything and gave it all for truth, Saad. He placed a single glowing petal on it, the same kind Saad once picked during the jungle trial. Behind him, Hania held his hand. Our eyes whispered, we thought it was just a story. Hania replied, it became our destiny. The wind carried the sound of laughter, music, and hope. And as the first star of the night blinked above Nurabad, our eyes, the lost heir, walked forward, not as a king, but as a light.